Awesome. Let's start. All right. Regarding the DevNet, so are there any? Yes, Erigon deployed a new version that works for the DevNet, right? Is it already running? Has it like synced entirely? Is it following the chain and everything, or the seeing forks? How is this process going?
Hey, Philip. Yeah.
Hey.
I wanted to. Yeah, I saw the image being added, but haven't had the chance to create it yet. I will be trying to add it soon, but not haven't run any nodes on my side. Not sure if Erigon team has tested it out.
Oh yeah, I was more asking for the Erigon team, but I guess yeah, they don't generally run nodes, so yeah, that's true. Andrew or Somnat, have you like tested if Erigon works on the DevNet?
Yeah, I think Somnat is testing it. Is Somnat on the call?
He is, yes.
Yes, I am actually. I have to run a CL. So I was trying out the internal CL, but there were some issues. So I'm trying to figure out a way to run a lighthouse on that. If I get stuck, I'll post on the group chat.
Oh, that house it's not possible to use because they require Gnosis spec to be updated with the DNF params. So it will throw an error if you use preset. Preset. If you use preset Gnosis on your config, it won't work. So you have to either sync with Teku or Lodestar.
So only Teco and Lodestar work for DevNet 0.
Right.
All right, I'll give it a try. Teku or Lodestar, one of those.
Yeah, so as soon as we define like the remaining configs for DNAP, we will, I guess, do pull requests to enable DNAP in or DNCon in general in all the clients. So that might then solve also Lighthouse indirectly. But that's then a conversation for, well, now I guess. So we have Erigon available. It's not tested yet. But I guess Samrat is on this, and Carlos is also going to spin up a few nodes, right?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. So for the config, so Dencon, there were two more things to define. There is a max churn limit, which we have defined as 2. Basically, the general idea is that we don't, I mean, the most, well, it restricts the number of validators that can enter the queue, right, or the sets. And this will limit, I think, to 1 million validators by by October 2024. So that's the main limit, which we are not expecting to be really an issue because we have, well, only 160 at this point. So that would mean a lot of additional validators. So this one is defined, and then there's this, okay, this is not clear, but the EIP 4844, so min, targets and max blobs per block, which we've defined to be, so 1 target blob per block and 2 max blobs per block, sorry. Which for us is the best option because, well, for one, it's closer to Ethereum with, I mean, considering they have 3.6, if you divide that by 2.4 for the block time difference, whatever. And just to be kind of security first in the sense that we don't want to overload our nodes too much because you already have like issues, I guess, hitting the like 5 second block time mark. So that's our, yeah, so what we've decided on, except if there is, I guess, other compelling arguments. We've looked into 1.3, so and a target of 1 and a max of 3, which would be interesting maybe to handle like bursts or something like that. But yeah, we kind of wanted to have the opinion of you all about this. So other thoughts specifically about the target and max blobs per block? I guess, Andrew, you answered to a few of the pull requests on the specs repo. Do you have thoughts about that?
No, well, I just wanted to align one. I think I don't have a thoughts about 1/2 blob capacity. It's I guess it's justified because the block time is lower, but I just wanted to align what's this kind of one adjustment parameter with that config, and that's it.
So we're talking about target blob, gas per block, and max.
No. So I wanted to update the blob gas price update fraction. So just to have it aligned with that. Because those guys, like max blob gas per block and target blob gas per block, they essentially match that 1/2 blobs per block. But you also, when you update those guys, you need to update this blob gas price update fraction so that it aligns with the kind of like the gas blob gas adjustment dynamics of the EIP. That's it. So I wanted to align it with the other two guys.
All right. Yeah, I mean, internally have not looked at that, but I think you've talked about this with Nethermind before, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So what's the? I mean, do you have consensus on the right value?
Yeah, so Ruben, I think it was Ruben from Nethermind, and we had what's the? I can let me pull. I think I commented on there was a pull request and not like what's the pull request number?
Well, that's right. She calculated the value according to the EIP 4844 formula there, but I need someone else just to confirm that it was correct. So we tagged upline and Telegram chat, and the value also is posted in the Telegram chat, so you can find it there.
Yeah, it's in the pull request 24 to Gnosis Chain specs. So I think as it stands, so that line has updated it, and I think that number, it was verified on the Telegram chat as well by Ruben and myself. So it's like 11, like something like what was the number?
Yeah,
that's fine. We rounded it up to the value you just posted there. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so I guess we can consider all those configs to be fixed for now. I mean, at this point, and we will do pull requests to add them to the presets. Yeah, so I guess that's it for devnet/dencon. Regarding Hive tests, are there any updates?
Yes, we are. I mean, wait 1 second. We managed to solve the configuration issues that we had initially running on Cancun, and right now I am trying to solve an error that I am getting while sending the blobs. Yeah, that's mostly all. We are moving forward basically in that, but not yet the first test run.
Okay, thank you. Regarding Nethermind, do you have any client updates?
Well, we've finished some Gnosis specific, Dencon specific updates for Gnosis, and we're gonna test those on a DevNet later today. And the Cancun blob pool has been merged to the main branch, and also we're still fixing a few issues for our upcoming release, and that's pretty much it for this week.
So what are those Gnosis specific features?
I'm referring to making these 4844 parameters configurable based on a network.
Okay.
So currently on a DevNet, they're now hard coded, so we're gonna change the image. So it was kind of quite a work on our end.
Awesome. Thank you. So for Erigon, so I'm having quite a lot of issues recently for some reason. So I have one node with around, I guess, 250 validators or something like that. It's often, I mean, I have 3 Erigon nodes for Gnosis on that server, and one of them, which has all the validators, constantly has some issues. The other 2 are kind of fine. I'm missing like 3 to 5 slots constantly, but that might also just be Gnosis Chain in general. Although I have also those missed slots on Ethereum mainnet. And that node for Gnosis Chain, I have to restart like a fair amount. I mean, every few days at this point. Generally, after like a rollback or fork choice difference or something like that, it just doesn't start executing the blocks again. So I have to restart it and then it works. But yeah, so I have this issue. On another node that is not synced anymore, so I haven't tried to resync from 0 yet, but yeah, so I basically can't sync with like 32 gigs of RAM. But I guess we've talked about this in the chat. So there's this Go Max Proc, okay. That might be the issue, so I will try that out. And also I was wondering about the disk usage. So it's like 3 times bigger than Nethermind at this point while being fully pruned. Is that like expected?
No, that's strange. So 3 times, but I mean by default, Erigon starts as an archive node. So if you without pruning, it will be probably.
I have it to prune HRTC.
Yes. So okay, it's interesting. I have to look into it. Yeah, that's a bit unexpected.
I think you can try to compact the database as well, because might grow. I think we do it like on schedule at Gateway. Just basically run what's it, mdbx copy -c, right? Enter on the database to keep it smaller.
Do you know how big yours are right now?
I can check it out. Like, I don't have it in front of me, but I can check. We also managed to we had a little bit of OEMs on Erigon as well, but right now it seems to be fine. So, but we didn't think from scratch in a long time. So
yeah, I only have this like on a full sync.
Yeah. Okay. We won't probably need to check, but yeah, I can ask how big is the pruned. That is Gnosis mainnet, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'll ask.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so I will try the out of memory thing, so the Go Max procs. And regarding the reliability, sorry. So it might also just be Gnosis Chain, because I mean a lot of slots are either missed or a bit late, so that might be linked. But yeah, I'm starting to migrate a few over to Nethermind to basically compare them, but I don't have enough data at this point. So yeah. Except for that, do you have other updates?
So about out of memory, I think it happens in Docker, and we need to actually make some changes to work it smoother with Docker. But yes, that Go Max Proc should be a workaround to decreasing that when running under Docker.
Okay. Yeah, so I will resync a full node a pruned node, just to compare the disk size after a full sync, because even if we can prune this manually, like this is not going to happen on that node, for example. So it should, maybe if there's a way to prune those automatically or something like that, or if it just doesn't work for Gnosis Chain for some particular reason, that would be interesting. And for the other issue, well, I'm waiting for data with Nethermind. So if that's it, I guess you did have a few new releases, right? What were those about?
So we've been fixing some bugs, and in finishing Denkun, I think we've also made recently a change for Cancun to make those blob throughput parameters configurable. So that's merged. Yeah, but mostly we are also working on Erigon 3, which will take some months, but it should hopefully help with our performance and disk footprint and so on. But it'll take some time to get that released.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Geth?
Yeah, so not too much progress. I did try the thing we discussed last time with the static peers. So that seems to work, at least work better, but I'm still not getting a connection. The problem is that it seems, at least I keep investigating why I don't get the connection, and looks like when I use the old branch, it systematically goes to 67, E67, and 66, and that seems to work. And when my new branch connects to the same machine with 68, it gets disconnected. So I have to see if I can deactivate this like 68 and see if I can keep syncing the network this way. I was also interested when I saw you had a problem out of memory, so I'm going to try that too, because that might help my make my old branch sync all the way. Yeah, Łukasz?
So we currently, I think, don't enable ETH 67 and 68 on Gnosis Chain because 67 deprecated gets node data, and we still use it to sync on Gnosis Chain. So if you need, we can give you the version. I don't know if there's a config value to change that for Gnosis Chain.
But I mean, there are Erigon nodes on Gnosis Chain that have E67 and E68 enabled. I mean, Erigon nodes more specifically, and I have a lot of peers on those, so that should also work on Erigon peers at least.
Yeah, I mean, I find them, right? The question is not that I can't find them. The question is, why do they disconnect me, basically? So yeah, okay. Let me sort everything out. I'll get back to both of you, trying to figure. Yeah,
in Nethermind, you can enable network diagnostic tracer that would trace each message, and if there's a disconnection after each message, it should provide some insight why and on which message you got disconnection and potentially why.
Yeah, that would be useful.
So there is a under network config, there is a diag tracer enabled property that you can enable, and then it spits out every, I think, few minutes, like a trace of all the connections for that few minutes and all the history of that connection. So you can then find your node there and find the actual all the communication that was there.
Okay. Cool. I'll do that. Thank you.
Awesome. Gateway, do you have any updates?
Yeah, we actually discovered a bug in our own load balancing code that's together with the current load of the system gave 0.5 to 1% of errors. So we fixed it. So it should be much better right now. It was basically because again, get logs. We suddenly got a lot of get logs, basically, and get logs are typically relatively slow on the nodes. So we got a little bit of how do we mention some nodes were falling behind a bit. Yeah, Łukasz, you wanted to say something? So actually, between this and Filipe, asking some time ago about some particular get nodes that are long-range scans. Yes.
So they don't have either block from and to, or they have very huge block from and to range. We actually kickstarted last week initiative to redo our log index. But this is as an internship project, so we have one intern working on it and me mentoring him. So maybe in a few months we will have a solution that we can ship. So it's hard to say because it's a new intern, so it's hard to say if he will be able to ship it. But if not, we will either find another person to do it or something. But right now, that was the best way to do it for now. But we are also working on that, on optimizing this part more for long range.
Right now, we didn't optimize get logs per se, but what we did is we basically accounted for this slowing down the nodes a little bit more gracefully, so giving them time to recover, because basically what happened before, we were very, very strict about how close the node should be to the tip of the chain to even give it requests. And now we are a bit more smart with, like, if it's an old request for something old, we don't really care if it's fully synced. So now it should be basically 0. But if you observe 503s or somebody complains on anything, please redirect them to me. We also had but not we, like the RPC, also the public RPC of Gnosis Chain, the official one, also was down over a weekend, but that was on the side of Gnosis, the failure. But still, I want to know about if anything goes wrong. Just because it's so hard to get any feedback sometimes. We have our own, of course, monitoring and whatnot, but yeah, sometimes something slips through.
Yeah, so I actually got a few questions from Balancer because they are using the public RPC and they are having issues with it. I don't have much more information at this point, but I will get information and potentially put them in contact with you then.
Yeah, like if you can make a common chat with us, and so we can figure this out.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks. Yeah, it started this morning. I mean, I was put in contact with them this morning, so I haven't had much time to.
Yeah, maybe they also are on the same, because we had quite a few complaints about this elevated error rates that were there, that were just fixed. So, and the fix was literally, I think, either last night or something like this. So maybe, but yeah, let's. I always want to know the feedback. So please.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Thanks. Yeah, so that's so Lion talked about this way of running sync tests automatically, basically, that the EF is doing. I don't know much more about it, but maybe Lion, if you can comment. The idea being to just have every few days or whatever do a full resync of the entire chain to check with the latest client versions, I'm assuming, to make sure they still work. Yeah, Lion, do you have more information about that?
Yeah, I think it's just they have a repo with a cron job that does a sync on a custom runner, and it just reports it back. So it's just convenient to do that on GitHub. But at the end, it's just bring a machine up, try to sync a network, and if it fails, report it somewhere.
Okay. I guess we're doing that internally then. Okay, well, I guess that's it for today, unless anyone has questions or comments. Okay, well, see you next week then. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, good week.